Have you ever wondered what it truly means to live? To live with purpose, with honor, and without fear? Today, we journey back to feudal Japan to uncover the story of a man whose life and words would echo through centuries, shaping the very soul of the samurai. This is the story of Yamamoto Tsunetomo and his masterpiece, the Hagakure. Our story begins in the Saga domain during the 17th century. Here lived Yamamoto Tsunetomo, a samurai whose loyalty to his lord, Nabeshima Mitsushige, was absolute. From a young age, Tsunetomo was groomed for service. He wasn't just a warrior, he was a scholar, a poet, and a confidant to his master. For over 30 years, his life was defined by this singular, unwavering devotion. In the world of the samurai, the bond between a retainer and his lord was sacred, a bond Tsunetomo expected to seal with his own life. But before continuing, if you're feeling the weight of this story, leave a like and subscribe. Your support helps us create more meaningful content like this. The tradition of junshi, or following one's lord in death, was a common practice for samurai to show ultimate loyalty. Tsunetomo had mentally prepared for this his entire life. When his lord, Nabeshima Mitsushige, passed away in the year 1700, Tsunetomo was ready to perform this final act of service. However, there was a complication. Mitsushige, in his wisdom, had forbidden the practice of junshi. Furthermore, the ruling shogunate had also officially outlawed it. Suddenly, Tsunetomo found himself at a profound crossroads. The path he had envisioned for his entire existence was now blocked. He was a samurai without a master to serve and forbidden from following him into the next life. Forced to reconcile his profound sense of duty with the new reality, Tsunetomo made a life-altering decision. He chose not to seek a new master, as many samurai in his position would have. Instead, he shaved his head, became a Buddhist hermit, and retired to a small hermitage in the mountains, a place called Kurotsuchibaru. He left the world of politics and battle behind, but his samurai spirit remained restless. He was a man filled with the wisdom, stories, and principles of a bygone era, a time he felt was fading away. He was adrift, a living relic of a code he believed was losing its purity. It was in this solitude that the next, and most important, chapter of his life would begin, though he didn't know it yet. Several years into his seclusion, around 1710, Tsunetomo received a visitor, a young, aspiring samurai named Toshiro Tsunemoto sought out the old warrior, eager to learn from his experience. For 7 years, Toshiro visited Tsunetomo, listening intently as the elder samurai recounted his thoughts, his memories, and his profound philosophy on what it meant to be a true warrior. Toshiro meticulously transcribed every word, every anecdote, every piece of hard-won wisdom. These conversations, held in the quiet of the mountains, became the foundation of one of the most influential texts in samurai history. This collection of teachings would be compiled into a book known as the Hagakure, which translates to "in the shadow of leaves" or "hidden by the leaves." The Hagakure is not a systematic manual or a straightforward guide. It's a collection of over 1,300 short anecdotes and reflections, ranging from practical advice on swordsmanship and etiquette to deep, philosophical musings on life and death. It was never intended for public eyes. It was a personal transmission of wisdom from one samurai to another. Yet, its core message was so powerful it couldn't remain hidden forever. So, what is the central philosophy of the Hagakure? It can be summed up in one of its most famous and often misunderstood lines. The way of the samurai is found in death. This isn't a call for a morbid obsession or a suicidal impulse. Far from it. Tsunetomo's point was much deeper. He argued that by accepting and embracing the inevitability of your own death, you could transcend the fear of it. Once you are no longer afraid to die, you are truly free to live. Every decision, every action can be made with absolute clarity, purity, and decisiveness. Think about it. When you're constantly worried about consequences, about failure, about protecting your own life, your actions become hesitant and compromised. But if you begin each day as if it were your last, ready to die at any moment for your principles, you act with a completely different level of commitment. This mindset, according to Tsunetomo, was the key to achieving a higher state of being. It was about living with an intensity and purpose that was impossible for those clinging to life. It was about making every single moment count, because you understand it could be your final one. The Hagakure stresses the importance of action over intellectualism. Tsunetomo was critical of the scholars and thinkers of his time who, he felt, overanalyzed everything and was slow to act. He famously wrote, "Matters of great concern should be treated lightly. Matters of small concern should be treated seriously." This sounds paradoxical, but it's brilliant for the big, life or death decisions. You should have already prepared yourself through your daily discipline and mindset. When the moment comes, you act swiftly, without hesitation, for the small, everyday matters, your manners, your training. Your speech, you must be meticulous. It is in perfecting these small details that you build the character needed to face the great challenges. Another key theme is unwavering loyalty and service. For Tsunetomo, the samurai's existence was entirely for his lord. Every action was a reflection of his master and his domain. He wrote, "A samurai should be mindful of his conduct, even in the most trivial of matters, for it is in these small things that his true character is revealed." This wasn't about blind obedience. It was about a profound sense of responsibility and the desire to bring honor to the one you serve. This dedication extended beyond the battlefield into every facet of life, creating a code of conduct that was all-encompassing. For generations, the Hagakure remained a secret text, passed down only within the Nabeshima clan of the Saga domain. It was considered too radical, too intense for the outside world. However, its wisdom slowly began to seep out. By the time of the Meiji Restoration in the late 19th century, when the samurai class was officially abolished, the Hagakure was rediscovered. In a rapidly modernizing Japan, many looked to it as a pure expression of the traditional warrior spirit, the Bushido Code. Its influence grew immensely in the 20th century. It became required reading for many in the Japanese military during World War II, who interpreted its message of embracing death in a very literal, nationalistic way. This association has, for many, colored the perception of the Hagakure. But to see it only through that lens is to miss its deeper, more personal philosophy. At its heart, the book is not about war. It's about self-mastery. It's a guide to living a life of purpose, courage, and integrity by confronting the ultimate truth of our own mortality. Today, the wisdom of Yamamoto Tsunetomo and the Hagakure continues to resonate. People from all walks of life, from business leaders to athletes, draw inspiration from its teachings. Its lessons on focus, discipline, decisiveness, and living in the present moment are timeless. It challenges us to ask ourselves, what are we willing to live for? What principles are so important that we would face any fear for them? Yamamoto Tsunetomo, the hermit samurai, left the world to find his way, and in doing so, he left a map for anyone seeking a more meaningful and courageous life. His voice, once hidden in the shadow of leaves, now echoes for all of us to hear. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the heart of the samurai spirit. If you found this story inspiring, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next exploration into history's most fascinating figures. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious.